What's up, everybody? Fortexfiend here. Welcome back again to my channel, where I'm going to be talking about the brand new free unit that they gifted us, along with the panel missions that we can complete in order to get this unit all the way to fully max limit broken. This is going to be none other than the SSR Gundam Barbatos or Barbatos Adapt. I have been watching the anime, so I'm working on my pronunciations. And we can also get not only the limit break materials for this free unit, but as well as 100 SP tokens. And I think this is really, really cool. It is in celebration of the 10-year anniversary for Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphan. So it's really cool that they're showing some more love to these particular series by giving us more freebies. So we're going to be taking a look at the unit. I'm going to be giving you guys my honest opinions. Before I get started, you guys know the drill. If you enjoy what you see on this channel, there's a subscribe button, there's a notification bell, there are the likes and the dislikes button, and let me know down below what you guys think of this unit so far. So taking a look at the panel missions here, I will let you know right now, they didn't hear me out here, guys, but you see this complete a character request. They did it before with the Gundam Wing one, now they're doing it again. So I don't know, maybe there's just somebody on the dev team that likes to troll us with that particular mission, but they're doing it again. It is what it is. Not a fan of it, but all in all, more free stuff to earn, so I can't really complain too much, right? So this is how you're going to be earning those limit break materials for the unit, but we're going to take a look at the actual unit itself. So this is Gundam Barbatos or Barbatos Adapt. It is going to be a supporter type unit that is heavily melee focused, which if you've seen Iron-Blooded Orphans or watched any of it like I have right now, a lot of the units are very like close range combat melee heavy focus, which is perfect for this unit. We're going to take a look at sword first, because you guys are probably wondering, oh, what's that little purple symbol though, right? Well, they started introducing these debuffs that essentially decrease the range of a particular type of like a weapon. And in this case, if you attack with this particular skill, the max range of physical weapons for that enemy unit is decreased by 1 for 1 turn. So essentially, you're debuffing their range, which I think is pretty useful and can definitely come in handy. I believe the other unit that we saw this with is the Banshee Norn that we got, but it is a pretty cool type of a debuff. It also does have Kick, which doesn't have any added weapon effects. It does have the highest power on this particular unit at 4,920. It does have a 10% chance to crit, which can always come in handy if you somehow need this to crit. And then afterwards, its longest range skill, which is going to be up to 4, is going to be sword throwing. So this inflicts a debuff where damage taken from physical weapons increases by up to 30% on the enemy for 1 turn. So this complements your attackers that focus solely on physical weapon type damage. So all in all, it's a solid supporter unit. In terms of abilities, it does have energy regen and increased mobility. It also has like a pseudo lifeline, which I think is one of the coolest passives that it has, where if its HP falls 50% or below, it gets a 30% HP restoration. So in a sense, it kind of has like a mini lifeline, although not as good as what we've seen with other units. And then it does have a mitigation passive where it reduces enemy attacks that uses beam weapons by 30%. Keep in mind, this does not work on EX skills because of the weapon damage nullification. In terms of its tags, as we can see right here, it has a really good array of tags. It has Alternative, Gundam, Protagonist, it has Specialized Unit, it has Takaden, and then, like I said, I've been watching, let me see if I get this right, Alea Vinyana System. Let me know in the comments if I said that right. Alea Vinyana System. It has that tag. It has the very infamous one-shot killer, which we know that the next Master League is going to be featuring that. So if you have the Eternal Lacus ship, or I believe there's another one that has that, that's not the limited UR ship, that's a great tag as well. So all in all, the tags for it are solid. It does not, unfortunately, have the shield defense. Would have been nice, but it is what it is. It does have that pseudo second lifeline, and terrain capability is pretty standard for this type of unit. So all in all, I do think this unit is pretty good for a free unit. If we take a look at it here with its max upgrade without the SP conversion, those are the stats right over there. HP is still a little bit low, but however, if we do use the SP conversion right over here, it does get a crank up in mobility, giving it close to 10,000 mobility, which is pretty good. And the thing is that with support units like this, if you do crank up their stats, they will be doing a little bit more damage. However, you have to keep in mind that because damage, all in all, is going to be the most important key factor when you're clearing these stages, you might want to think twice before using your SP conversion tokens on this, because I would still prioritize attacker type units, and then afterwards potentially defensive types. And then lastly, unless there's something that really stands out with supporter units, you would prioritize supporter units last with your SP tokens. And also, one other reason why I say to hold off on SP converting this is because it does have that pseudo lifeline, so you don't necessarily need to worry about it statistically. All it's there to do is apply debuffs and just essentially help your actual attackers deal more damage. But it's a really solid unit. I think it's great in terms of pilots that I would personally recommend for it. So I filtered it out by support and by iron-blooded orphans. So the first one that I'm going to recommend is going to be Data or Data. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I believe this is a manga character. And the reason why is, as you could see, the stat for this pilot, the highest is melee, whereas melee is the main focus of that particular unit, the Barbatos or Barbatos Adapt. As far as supportive wise, this particular pilot does have double support, attack, and counter, which is going to be the reason why this is going to be your best non-UR option that is coming from the gacha. Now, if you're looking for more of a free-to-play standpoint, I did take a look at all of the available SR pilots that you could potentially SP convert with the badges, because that is a thing now. And the one that I would personally recommend is probably going to be Akihito Altland. And as you can see right here, if we take a look at the stats at max upgrade with the SP conversion, his melee jumps up to 646. Not as good as we would expect it to be, but the reason why I chose him is he does have the affinity for the Alea Vinyana system, increasing own critical rate when piloting units with specific tags. He also has Takeiden, which, that unit, the Barbatos Adapt, does have that as well. And he also has the increased melee. And if we take a look at his skills, he has attack burst and he also has force guard. It would have been nice if they gave him maybe boost range instead. I would have liked to see that more, especially to increase the range of your particular weapon skills. But I think he's going to be the best option in terms of a free-to-play standpoint. I was taking a look at another pilot, which is Galio Baldwin. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I know I saw this guy in the anime, but I didn't pay attention to how they said his name just quite yet. But anyways, when you look at the max upgrade, on paper, it looks pretty solid. His melee is already better than the other pilot that I pointed out. Skill-wise, has attack burst, also has that extra support attack if you use it. And remember, you can actually save this and pop it when you need it, right? But the only problem is that if you take a look at the tags, this pilot has no affinity whatsoever with the Barbatos Adapt. So unfortunately, despite the really nice skills and the cool, the really high melee stat, in my opinion, I would probably still opt to use what is it? This guy, Akihito. I think Akihito is going to be your best option in terms of a free-to-play standpoint for a pilot for that unit. But let me know what you guys think down below. Have you guys built it a little bit so far? I'm pretty sure there's no one that's gotten the last limit break unless you used your SSR materials, which you shouldn't do that unless you really want to. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if there's another free pilot that you think would work better than Akihito, and also what your guys' overall thoughts are for another free unit that we get to earn. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.